Hello, this is Jamie Magrich. Welcome to Jamie's Craft Table. Today I'm going to show you how I made this card. Now this little bird I totally cased from Pinterest, a site from Vicki Sheridan, blushcrafts.com. Hers was going the other direction, obviously. I didn't check out her site. I just saw the picture of it on Pinterest. Just so you know, I cased it from Pinterest, the bird. Okay, so let's get started here. It's really a very easy card. I'm using punches. Now I'm using a 2 1/4 inch circle punch. You can use a die. I just am choosing to use my punches because it's easier. I'm using the bow punch. These 3 punches are retired. Actually, the circle one is too. This is a little flower, a little heart, and I'm using this one for the little 1/4 inch circle. Okay, I'm also using a sentiment from Forever Fern, this hello. I just like this particular font. And I'm using the Stitch Greenery die. Okay. The Designer Series paper is the In Color Designer Series paper. 6x6. I'm using a strip. It's just a scrap. It's a 1/2 inch, just coincidentally, of Daffodil Delight. A 1 3/4 inch strip of Parakeet Party. Now I chose this width because when I put it in the punch, I can manage to get it in without wasting some by punching out this other part of the punch that I didn't want. I have a 3-inch square of Orchid Oasis. I have a 3 by 4 inch piece of white, 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of Daffodil Delight. I've already run it through with that greenery die. And my card base is 5.5 by 8.5, scored and folded at 4 1/4. Okay, so let's get started here. Let's go ahead and punch our pieces. So I've got my 2 1/4 inch circle punch. I'm going to push this lever to open it. I actually have to pull it towards me. Okay, I'm going to die cut, punch out this circle here. I'm going to do it kind of close to the edge, but you can just punch that. Okay, for the rest of this, I need 3 flowers. So we'll go ahead and punch out 3 flowers. Okay. And out of the heart, now let's do the greenery first. Okay, so I'm going to bring in my greenery punch, my bow punch. I'm bringing this, pull it down as close to the bottom as I can. Still get it all in there. Punch 1. I need 2 of them. And I turn it around. Do one over here. So you could have used a 4 inch by 1 3/4 inch piece, because out of this piece here we're going to punch out one of these hearts. Okay. Then out of this yellow Daffodil Delight strip, we're going to punch 3 of these little circles. Oh, almost dropped it. There we go. Okay. Alright, so we're going to take our Orchid Oasis circle. We're going to fold it in half but we don't want it to be totally in half. I want it to be a little bit, see how we're showing a little bit of the other color underneath? And I don't want to fold it completely. I want that to still be rounded so it looks like a bird. I'm going to come in with a couple dimensionals. I'm going to put a couple dimensionals on the back of this, down towards the fold. And then I'm going to come in with a glue dot. Right here at this edge, I'm going to put a glue dot. Okay, take those backs off, the dimensionals. Oh, that could have been centered a little bit better, the glue dot, but that's fine. Okay. Oh, I need that yellow strip again on my snips. I forgot I need to cut out a beak. So I'm just gonna do a little triangle like that. Okay, so we'll take a glue dot on the back of that little triangle. Oop, there's one up here. Let's grab that one. That's going to be your beak, so determine how you want your beak to lay. Alright. Then the little heart is going to be his tail, so we're going to put a glue dot down here towards the bottom of the heart. And again, determine how you want your tail to go. You can have it like that, you can have it just sitting out like that. I just kind of liked it just a little bit. And to complete our bird, we're going to bring in one of the matte black dots and put an eye on him. That looks good. Okay, now for these flowers, use a dotted side. And there's a couple things you could do. Where's my stylus? Take your pick tool. You know, I'm not finding it fast enough, so you can either just come in with a something pointy, even a dull pencil, and just poke it in like that. And what I did on this one is I took tweezers. I actually curled these ends like that. Kind of took this and twisted it a little and then curled the ends. So there's lots of different ways you can puff up your flowers. You don't need the tweezers, you can use your fingers. I have fumbly fingers, so. Or you could use like a chopstick or toothpick and roll it around it. That would work too. Okay, now I'm going to put a little dot of glue in the center of each one of these flowers. You could use a glue dot here as well. I just thought this was easier. Those yellow centers in the center of our flowers. Okay, now let's bring in this 3 by 4 inch piece of white. The first thing I'm going to do is stamp the sentiment up here at the top. I'm going to bring in my Memento Tuxedo black ink. Make sure your stamp is inked well. I'm going to stamp it up here in this top. Perfect. And that's the only stamping on this card. Okay, now We're going to decide where we want to put our bird. Right there looks good. Let's go ahead and adhere him down. Well, actually, let's figure out where we want to put things first. We're going to put these branches, and you can flip one over, flip them both over, however you want to do it. I think I'll flip one over like that, and those will get glued down there. Okay, so let's go ahead and glue this guy down. Now you could use your glue dots. I'm just going to use my wet glue. Go on him right there, like that. Okay. Let's put a couple glue dots on the back of a couple of these leaves. And do the two bottom ones, and then the top one. Let me do that top one, because I want to leave a little bit loose. Okay, so this one's going to go off the edge of the page a little bit. Like that. Before I glue this down though, if it isn't too late already, I forgot to draw his legs, so I got a idea where I'm going to go with it. I'm going to use the fine tip of the Stampin' Right marker. I'm just going to draw two straight lines. Now you could draw the little feeties on it. It isn't going to show because the branch is going to be covering it, but okay. Now I need a couple more dots on this one. Sticking to me. There. Okay. So the branch is going to go across like that. Now we're going to stick our flowers on. Go ahead and stick them all on the glue dots. You really wouldn't need any other adhesive except the glue dots for this card. And I'm just going to cluster these over here. Okay. Now I'm going to bring in this piece. And I'm going to use dimensionals on the back of it. Take the backs off. And again, you could just use your glue dots and it would be flat, but I kind of liked it popped a little bit. Oops, my one came off. Must be the glue dot didn't stick to it. There we go. Oops. Can't stick yet. Okay, so this is going to go down here at the bottom. There's going to be about a 1/4 of an inch on the left side and the bottom. Just because I wanted some of this background to show. Make that straight. And then this is going to go onto the front of the card with wet glue. And there's 1/8 of an inch border because it's a 1/4 inch smaller. And there you go. There's our card today. Isn't that cute? It's so cute. I saw that little bird. It's like, oh, I have to play with that. So cute. And thank you, Vicki Sheridan, for sharing that on Pinterest. Well, have a great rest of your day, everybody. I hope you can find a little bit of time to play with some stamps, ink, and paper.